Alright, so right now I want to talk about PRAN. So, what we've been doing in these videos is just looking at, okay, the chart popped and I want to see, is this a trade for me to get in? But before we're thinking, hey, is this a trade for me to get in? Let's talk about how we could have gotten in earlier, right? So, let's look at it. Let's go with the brush. Switch up. Let's see. So, PRAN. Today it popped from 250 yesterday to 450, right? So, we're looking at, okay, what indicators did we have visually if we were scanning and this chart came up? What indicators could we have seen that told us, hey, the trend of the chart's changing and it's the risk to reward is on our side, right? So what I would have been interested in is this 3-month chart right here. And the reason would have been because of this channeling right here between 2 and 250. So we talked about this yesterday on ATHX, right? That channeling action. So I would kind of say that's the A, that's the B, that's the A, that's the B. And B, I treat that as the base of the popular ABCD pattern, right? So in general, I'm just looking at the trend lines of that, right? So I see that as the A and the B, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at this channel that's being formed because the chart is playing within that channel for 3 months, right? We see that channel between 250 and 2, and it goes up and it comes down, right? Goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, and comes back up. So we can also see that right here in the 6-month chart. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It actually been playing in that same channel for about 5 months. So again, let's draw those channel points out. Let's see. Got the A, got a B, A, B, A, B. So it pretty much has been consolidating for the last, let's see, 5 months within that channel, right? So what we're looking at is right here between 250 and 2, and it's playing within that channel. Down, up, down, up, down, up, right? So again, all you can see are these channels. So we're trying to decide, yeah, that we just see channels. But when is it time to get in? And that's where my style of trading, I've always paid attention to this 10-day chart along with this 5-day chart, but mostly I look at the 10-day chart in terms of, hey, this chart is setting up based off of this channel. We see internally, not just with this 3-month chart, right? We see right here. This 3-month chart, yesterday it topped out, or the last 2 days before the pop today, it tapped this 250 level. So we can see 3-month wise what it was doing, right? But we don't know when exactly is the time to get into a trade because entries and exits are everything. mostly the entries, because the higher you get within the ABCD pattern, or the more midway you get in between the A or the B or the C, right, the less of an advantage you have. So our goal in the videos is to just break down the technical analysis of these charts that pop in the day and say, okay, what would have been the indicators that could have alerted us? And yesterday and the day before that, it would have been this hovering action right here. Let's see. Oh, let me bring that chart back. Is it PRAN? Okay. So what would have alerted me is this hovering action right here at that 250 level, which we also see within the top of that channel, the top of this channel. And okay, so we see that it was hovering there for about a day and a half. And so we say, hey, if we get in on that 250 level right here and it doesn't break, what's our risk to reward? And right here we see that it's hovering at 250. Let's see, there's no resistance above the 250 level on the 3-month chart. Above the 250 level on the 6-month chart, there really isn't any resistance other than a few times here at the $3 level and support right here in October around the $3 level. But there's nothing really tapping it down. And what I look for in terms of resistance is that same ABCD pattern in terms of, hey, is there a solid A preventing that from popping, right? And we could say that the A in this 1-year chart, you could say A, B, the beginning of the C pattern, and then the C again, right? So we could have said A, B, C, the start of the C, basing again for higher lows, and then the beginning of the C. So we see that $3 level, right, as the crack within this 1-year chart. But again, every time frame is feeding in and informing one another. So we see that same kind of pattern in here. So what's the resistance above 250? Not much, because we don't see the A pattern, another A pattern blocking it. It's just about to pop on this 250 level, right? So I see this 250 level as an important, we don't know it's going to pop. Realistically, you wouldn't know, but you'd say, hey, my risk to reward, I'm getting in at 250, and my risk would be around this level, which, let's see if we can find anything. Okay, we can't find anything. So we can't find anything lower than this $2 risk, right? But again, what's the reward? What's the upside? We don't have any solid resistance up here. The closest we have is $3 from that 250 level. Other than that, we have this $6 level, right? This $6 level right here. So we say, okay, the downside's 50 cents, but of course you're not going to let it drop the whole 50 cents, because you'll have intraday cues as to, hey, what's the low of day, what's the high of day, and based off of the low of the intraday action, you could determine your 5 and 10 day risk levels, right? So we're looking at this 250 level and we're letting it just hover in that area as a potential buy. Why is it a potential buy? Because it's been channeling within these levels, 250 to $2. Let's see. Right here we see a top, then it channels again, then the top, then another channel, then it goes to the bottom of the channel, then the top of the channel, and it's hovering at the top of the channel. If we were to see this action right here that we see, let me break it down. Right here, that would have alerted us. Hey, right here it seems to be wanting to tap. It's just hovering in that area. It seems to be wanting to tap that area. Again, we don't have to see this whole ABCD pattern play out in every single scenario, but we're seeing is this AB channeling, and it's informing us, hey, this is breaking the A, right? We'll just say the high of that channel. So in essence, it's still an ABCD pattern like we learned through Investors Underground. A, B, right? And we just keep hovering those highs and lows within that channel. And this little 250 area just informs us, hey, if we want to get in to the top of that channel, we also have good risk to reward in terms of the upside, and we saw that previously, this same pattern a few times. We saw it with ATHX yesterday. We saw it with PTIE, I think last week. So this is a very important little indicator of, hey, it's hovering this 250 area. Again, if you're just scanning within the 10-day time frame, this doesn't mean much. We have to get informed with this 3-month chart. And this 6-month chart just reinforces us everything, right? So it's just forming within channel like we talked about yesterday. And this is just letting us know that if we want to get into the action going on within that channel, maybe this is a good time because our risk to reward is 50 cents. Our upside or resistance is around that $6 level. And the next level is $3, right? So we could actually minimize our risk. We could say, okay, my downside is 10 cents, but my upside, I think it's going to go to 3. Okay, so we have 5-to-1 odds, right? 50 cents upside, 10 cents downside. So again, I just wanted to talk about in PRAN and some indicators that we might be that we should pay attention for the next time something might pop, and just indicators that prepare us for the next time. So I'll see you on the next video, and hopefully this was helpful. If you want to get more videos like this, just subscribe, share the videos with a friend, and I hope they really teach you something, because as I'm explaining this, I've experienced trading, but as I'm explaining this, I'm also learning these subtle things that that you don't really know that you do until you're articulating them, right? So I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one.